I'm talking about smart living and one feature of that. Perhaps that's something that you were not used to see from utilities a few years ago. I will anyhow start from solar economy. Matti and Jan talked about the flexibility of the energy system. They talked about electricity. I want to talk also the other factors, that it's not only electricity. When we go to renewables and we need flexibility, heat has actually a very important role also, especially in our areas where we still hopefully have winters and summers. District heating system can really help the energy system to be flexible. And I think this is one of our advantages also. But to bring even more complexity to the system is that there is bio, there is waste. And they are all integrated also to this energy system and flexibility. And actually in biosector, there is actually biowende happening, a lot of features as energy in Germany and in general, waste, circular economy, these all are linked to each other. And that means also actually that it's hard to have only energy day and look only energy. It's related to forest, it's related to traffic, it's related to chemicals, it's related to waste, textiles, plastics, whatever. So this means that world is getting more and more complicated, and when we look these systems and how to find the best systems for the societies. But I was planning to go to the case example of smart living. There we are not only looking any more energy. As I mentioned, you can't look it only. In smart living, there are a lot of features like convenience, safety, people interacting together, and energy is only one part of that. And this is a case example solution where in smart living you can have all these features in one. Matti had a good example of Kalasatama. So this is a full thing, but I will talk about energy anyhow. So I'm, in that sense, a little bit dull. So the energy management as part of this kind of system, what it means. And now I'm going to even more dull area as district heating. And that, I think that's a problem with heating. It's not nice, sexy, and you can't talk about these flexibility issues similarly as in electricity. But it's much actually very important for the whole system. So you have to think it, and then it's a question how to make it nice and interesting. But this is our history in heating. So this is district heated house. There is outdoor temperature, and then the system is controlled based on outdoor temperature. Some people are freezing, some are feeling too hot. It has not been controlled based on the temperature inside the apartment. I have studied control engineering, and I think the feedback loop was the first thing we were learning in the first lectures. And this system we have had since the 70s. We have developed excellent system, and we have kept it similar for decades. And now we have to also change or even disrupt district heating, what it will be in the future. So no wonder it's dull thing. No, there are so many people who don't even know then how their apartments are heated. So, well, this is a good start, that we will use the indoor temperature to control the heating. Then we know what are the temperatures in different apartments. We can balance the system in the buildings based on those temperatures and that information. So that is the first step to start with, but actually it's a big step in district heating, really. In heat pilot, what happens there? First of all, we take into account the weather information forecast, what it will be. Then there is intelligence, knowing that what the buildings are alike. So they learn building dynamics. When we bring new buildings to the system, it's easy to adapt that, know that how the building behaves. There's a huge difference with apartments from 50s or 70s or 90s. And in this case, we are cooperating with a startup called Clean Heat. So this is also working together, developing things together. Then in homes, we have temperature and humidity measurements. And the system notifies the differences. Then when customers, people living in the buildings, they have something that they concerns of the temperatures, they know also the temperature. Actually, this is something also that they know what is their apartment's temperature. Seems to be a very simple thing. And at the same time, when we improve the living conditions, we can also use this information and to optimize the production. And then we actually come also to the energy system and how you do it in the best way in the systemic sense. So that you can use also the buildings as storages. Some buildings have huge walls and you can use them several hours. Some buildings even several days as storages. And then you can optimize the heating system. Very simple case is that during winter, when you come to the office on Monday morning, you need more heat. Typically, there is a peak in heat consumption. But if you are able to optimize the system so that you start heating some apartments, some office buildings already before, then you don't have to start heat-only boilers, which are peaking plants, typically producing more emissions, less efficiency. So this is how it's a win-win situation in this case. The system has been now tested in some 15,000 apartments in Finland, and here are some results. So because always some apartments have been cold, people have complained, you have increased the temperature, so average temperature actually has been quite high. And after using this system, you can go down in average over one degree temperature. And only this thing gives you some savings about 10%. I think this is quite modest, but anyhow, clear savings in heating cost. And this is just only to measure temperature, to balance the system, so there is no demand response involved in this case. So if you think of benefits, I think we have now win-win-win-win benefits. Consumers, their temperature and humidity are measured, and that can be also taken into account in the control. Housing companies, they get information when something is wrong, and they can evaluate whether it's something, whether they have to do something when it's, for example, Saturday evening, or can that wait until Monday morning, or how it is. District heating company can optimize better their production because they have fact-based information available. And energy system can get more flexibility to the system. And actually that means that when we can bring more flexibility to energy system, we can bring more intermittent wind power production or solar power to the system, so which we can optimize. And here I'm really talking now only about the first step, what is happening in the district heat. So finally, my vision is that there will be, everybody can decide, I want to have 24 degrees, Matti wants to have 19 degrees. We can get what we want, but we also pay that in ourselves, so that Matti doesn't have to pay that I want to be in warmer apartment. So this is how I see that district heat has to develop, and that is the way it's going, but it's still a way to go. But I think we are in good path, and we have started that process. Thank you very much.